Hello everyone and welcome to another Total War Warhammer live BattleCast. In this game we're going to be playing the Greenskins and we are indeed facing off against the Dawi in a classic grudge match. So, as far as our army composition goes, we're actually going to go with the Arachnarok Queen. I know a few of you guys in the comments had asked to see the Arachnarok Queen in action, and it has been quite a bit of time since I've used it, so figured we might as well go for it. Aside from that, I do have Black Orcs in the front line with a Goblin firing line, the Rusty Arrows, and 2 Goblin Archers, which are very good for taking out high-value targets, and I'm actually going to go with Azag as well. So Azag's good against the Dwarfs because he does have poison attacks, good armor piercing, he's mobile, but Fate of Unit actually is not bad against Dwarves, so if they decide to bring like Norgrimling's Ironbreakers or one of those units that is pretty much always the last thing on the battlefield, it's going to be really good at taking those guys out. So let's give it a whirl and see how it goes. We also do have 2 fodder goblins here who are going to be pressuring the flanks, having a little bit of fun, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Hammer of Gork, also a very good choice. It's, you know, as regiment renowned artillery pieces go, it does have increased accuracy. It also has some pretty good armor-piercing values, and it's just, what is this ability? Yeah, blinded. So it lowers melee attack and melee defense, so that's actually, that is no joke. So we're going to go ahead and set up our goblins right here in the back. We're going to set up another group right here, and let's set these guys up over here. Yeah, that should be fine. Cool. So then the fodder goblins, we're going to put them out, like, we're going to have them in the same main formation so they move together, but we're going to have them out on the outside. We want them to just be like little trolls, kind of just like inundating his forces. If he has like slayers or something trying to get up and around, we can, you know, intercept them and be a nuisance in that respect. So the Arachnarok Queen, it's not bad against the Dawi because the spider summons are really good for like mucking down ranged units and things like that. So I don't know, and he's probably not going to be expecting it, to be honest. I mean, not a lot of people bring the Arachnarok Queen, so. And yeah, we got Big Daddy Azag. So guys, for those of you that did not know about the change, Azag now automatically has poison. So you don't need to bring, well, not Azag, but Wyvern mount. So Orc Warboss has poison on his flying mount now, which is pretty cool. So nice little buff there. You don't have to bring the Spider Banner anymore. So let's go ahead and get this guy firing at the Quarrelers. We'll get these guys flying up around the side. And the reason you bring the Morgum's Mangy Marauders is simply to deal with gyrocopters and things like that. It's pretty much a hard counter to gyrocopters. They can't do a whole lot against you. So we're going to go ahead and just keep running this way and just try and get in a nice position, save up our Winds of Magic. We're 1 per 6, so we got a little bit of time, but man, look at that damage. That is outstanding. Does he have anything really expensive? He probably has the Grumbling Guard, yes, on the far side, so we're probably just going to honestly save up a Fate of Unit for that. So let's cross over here on the far side and just kind of keep hanging out and just lurking on the wings, having a little bit of fun. And yeah, honestly, our Goblin firing line should be able to do pretty darn well against his missiles because it's just like kind of overwhelming numbers. So Arachnarok Queen, we're going to start running her up. We'll get the Black Orcs engaged here. We'll get these ones engaged here. These guys can go right here, and these ones can go right here. These goblins can go up around the side, and these guys can go up and around the side as well. And then we can start kind of peppering these guys. Good. So everything's going to code for the most part. We'll have the WA, of course, and we're going to get these guys, and we're just going to focus down his missiles incredibly aggressively. And we can shoot these guys for free from the outside, and the other ones, we can use these spiders to shut them down. Great, so that's going to be that's going to take care of most of our bases, although I should have probably summoned it right on top of these great weapons right here. So we're actually going to do that. So we're going to shut those guys down because I think they're a more high-value target. We actually muck them down a little bit, which is great. We're going to fly over, and we do have a Fate of Buna, so we're going to pop that on the Grumbling Guard. And how are our goblins doing? We can actually use them to kind of inundate these Quarrelers, I think. So Arachnarok Queen, we pull back because he was probably pathing after it with his missile unit, so we wanted to make sure that we weren't like, you know, too out of control there. And Azag kind of has free range in the back line, so we're going to keep going after those guys. And let's switch our artillery piece to focus these guys. And these Gobos need to hurry. Come on, Gobos, get there. These Gobos are coming around here, so I mean, just having like extra units around the flank, like even if they're not that great, is going to make a big difference. So let's pop the wall right here. We're going to keep working down his Runesmith, which is pretty much always one of the first targets you want to target. And just look at the sheer density of that fire. That is just straight brutality. So we're going to pull back a little bit. You can see he's kind of you know, coming over here with his who is this lord? Belegar. Oh, it's Belegar. Okay. So Belegar we should be able to take pretty easily with our dude because Belegar again doesn't really have the best AP values, and Azag is going to poison him and kind of just drag him into the mud a little bit. For our Spider Lord, let's go ahead and just keep, you know, inundating these Rangers and just chasing them and summoning Spiderlings on them. And the Spiderlings do have a pretty long cooldown, but it's not as bad as it, you know, as you would think. It's actually still pretty applicable and useful in this matchup. So we're going to pull these Black Orcs over here. These guys can kind of come up and around the back, and honestly, we can just go in melee and ride those guys down. Right here, we're just working on Belegar a little bit. We can go ahead and drop some poison. And our Goblin firing line, we can go ahead and start shooting at these Longbeards, and we're just going to pull back right now. And yeah, everything's going pretty good, I would say. Although we did let our guys get surrounded by Slayers, which isn't good. But we do have Black Orcs coming to assist, so Black Orcs can finish those guys off. Cool. So let's pull our Spider over here and just have him kind of take out this isolated Dwarf Lord. He's definitely in the wrong neighborhood. I mean, there's a lot of Goblin fire going on right here. That is a lot of punishment going on for sure. So one group of Goblins here still fighting missile units, doing some good work. And here, oh man, we've inundated a ton of their stuff. My apologies, it's my new favorite word. It's like when you do YouTube, it's like you kind of like pick up on favorite words you like to use, and you just use them for like, oh man, I think that's a lot of friendly fire right there. Yeah, we got to pull back. That's getting a little bit dangerous, but nonetheless, Belegar's probably going to go down to those guys. Our missile line is in good shape, and yeah, we can probably reposition the Goblin firing line here. The Arachnoid Queen can go ahead and help out against the Runesmith, and Azag, we can have him come finish off Belgar. It's a pretty safe engagement for him. Great, so we did get into his goodie jars in the back, and how are the Goblins doing? They're doing pretty good, but let's get into these Rangers. We can't let them shoot for free, and these other guys can, yeah, we don't even need them to help with those cannon crews. So Azag should be able to finish that guy off, and we do have our Goblin firing line repositioning, so they're going to be able to just put a ton of pressure onto these Rangers with great weapons, which actually aren't a bad pick against the Arachnoid Queen. You can see they're doing some good HP damage, but nonetheless, we're going to summon some more spiders. Definitely a little vampire count tacticianship going on here. And let's check everything, see how we're doing. We do have the Wasp, so let's go ahead and activate that. Just make Belgar go down that much faster. And yeah, this Ranger fire is going to be really devastating here against these guys. So we'll keep laying it on, but yeah, Arachnoid Queen's still good, guys. I mean, granted, you can have a lot more troops for that same cost, but I feel like it's quite a menace. I mean, it's good, has poison. You can, summon past their front line. Greenskins don't really, I mean, they don't have a ton of flying presence, and their cav are pretty good. But, being able to circumvent that really kind of tough Dawi front line and just get right into the goodie jar is pretty nice with the mass of that unit. So yeah, well played to my opponent. Let's go ahead and take a look at the breakdown. So Black Orcs did pretty well. Goblin Archers, I mean, obviously performed as expected. And, I mean, that sheer density of fire with the Rusty Arrows is just so incredibly powerful. You guys saw we were able to just take down those Quarrelers just so quick in conjunction with the Hammer of Gork. The Mangy Marauders, yeah, did some good pressure on the flanks. They can actually like kind of whittle down like great weapons and things like that. I like them quite a bit. But Azag, as you guys see, the Fate of Buna is still really strong. I mean, just because the Dwarves have a natural kind of a defense against magic doesn't mean that you shouldn't bring magic against them. I mean, Fate of Buna, I mean, even if you nerf 25% of its damage, it's still going to be pretty devastating to very expensive units. So yeah, well played to my opponent, Leatherhead. Look forward to seeing you again on ladder. So guys, we're going to try and make this a double cast. Let's get it rolling. All right, here we go. Sometimes it takes a while to like find another match. It's kind of like this weird thing. It'll say like found match, and you're just like stuck on it for like 5 minutes. I don't know. It's kind of troll, but hopefully we found a match. Let's see if it'll roll through to it. And I wonder what you guys would want to see. Played some Greenskins. Maybe we'll get a little Norsk action, some vampire counts. We're facing off against the mighty Jake. So let's get vampire counts. We haven't seen too much VC since their nerfs. They've been kind of neglected. So let's get good old Manny, put him on a Hellsteed, and for his abilities, oh yes, the Beastmen. That's actually the Shadow Gave, yeah. I mean, there's not really any baits you can do with that. Like when you play Crooked Moon, people are going to expect goblins, but you can't really do the same thing with those guys. But so we'll get Fate of Buna and Spirit Leech, and for vampire spells, we're probably going to get, yeah, we'll just get the Raised Dead, because Manfred has such good winds of magic that you can honestly get away with it, especially with the Sword of Unholy Power. It's very expensive, but still worth it. So on the front line, we'll get these Stearnsmen, and we'll get 2 of these. Do we want to get the 2 great weapons here against Bestigors? It's a little bit tricksy. Maybe we go cheaper and just get skeletons. I don't know. Our ethereal units might not be bad, because although they have a ton of magic damage with some of their new units now, so maybe we opt out of that play there, that line of thought. We'll get some skeletons just to kind of bolster our front line, just a very cheap fodder option. We'll get the Claw of Nagash here. We're going to get some skeleton spears to deal with monstrous units. No, you are not a spearman. Let's get 2 of you guys. And let's see, what else do I want to get? The Black Coach actually isn't bad here, as much of a meme as it is. Blood Knights, I don't know, I kind of like to play a little bit more of a centralized style, but I guess, Blood Knights are pretty darn fun. But if he just goes with like a heavy Beastmen core with like Gorbals and things like that, I guess they can do okay. Let's see. Do we want the Feasters in the Dusk? I always thought it was the Feasters in the Dark. It's so perplexing to me. Cryptor is obviously very solid. We probably have enough AP in the front line, so maybe just 1 group of Cryptors should be fine. We could get, you know what, let's have some fun. Let's get the Devils of Swartzofen. Do we want to get those guys? Oh, yeah, we'll get those ones. We'll get some Blood Knights here. And then I feel like they need like Hounds to go with them. That's the problem. I really don't like using naked Blood Knights. It just feels clumsy. Or, you know what, let's forget the Blood Knights. Let's get the Devils, and then we can get 1 more group of Spears. So we're going double VARGHEISTS, guys. We're going a little bit experimental today, but good luck to my opponent, Jake. Let's see what we got going on. But we're going to be seeing some Morgr action. Skeletons are definitely good for Morgr because they die incredibly quick, and they give you some fresh Chaos Spawn targets. But VARGHEISTS are it's kind of a wild card unit. They hit incredibly hard. If he does decide to bring any Harpies, they're just going to get massacred. VARGHEISTS literally eat them for breakfast. And we can jump on Centaurs with them. They do have some really good counterplay against them, because Centaurs are very squishy, and you're going to get the full charge bonus. They're not going to be able to really retaliate, which is Centaurs, one of their biggest strength is their charge. So so we'll see how it goes. And I feel like we have ample protection for our Claw of Nagash as well. And also another thing, guys, let me know who you would like to see most in Total War Warhammer 2. So my kind of tentative plans for that are Italian Spartacus and I are going to do a head-to-head campaign. We might actually stream it. So yeah, that's another thing. Would you guys like to see that streamed, like the head-to-head campaign? So when on launch day or the day after launch, whatever, Italian Spartacus and I sit down. Would you guys want to see us like live streaming? So if you want to watch his perspective, when it's his turn, you just switch over to his channel. When it's my turn, you can go to my channel. I don't know. I think that would be pretty fun. Like rather than the traditional format for head-to-head campaigns where you have to jump between channels and videos and it's kind of like annoying. I think that could be kind of a cool thing. So let me know if you'd like to see that. And also for multiplayer, I'm kind of planning on playing Skaven and Dark Elves first. So those are going to be the ones I learned because I've never liked High Elves and lore. And yeah, I don't know. I think the Skaven are funny. The Doom Wheel is going to be cool. I already feel bad for all the poor Dawi souls that are going to get run over by that thing. It's just like it's going to be like a juiced up chariot, just going crazy all over the lands. Yeah, we'll see though. We'll see. Should be fun. But yeah, and then we got Queek. Queek, is his name Squeak Head Taker or is it Queek? I can't remember. Yeah, anyways, he looks pretty cool. I know the Skaven have some interesting lore. Italian Spartacus has a pretty good video on all that stuff I was watching, but I'm still a bit of a noob when it comes to lore and all that. But Black Coach can work in this matchup because, again, the Beastmen are one of those factions that are a little bit susceptible to like terror routing and things like that. So if you guys want to meme the Black Coach, definitely bring it against the Beastmen or Chaos or Dwarves. That's where it really shines. Like it doesn't do well against Empire and those more civilized factions like Bretonia. Cool. So we're going to set our front line up like so. We're going to get the Claw of Nagash right here. We get some Skeleton Spears on the outside here. We'll get one group in the back pocket here. These guys can kind of just hang out over there, and that should be a-okay. Cool. And Cryptors can kind of just hang out there. And Cryptors are like have big mass, so they're pretty good for kind of like obstructing movement as well. Manny can be in group 2. He's going to be flying around, just getting all dirty and causing problems. So we definitely want him in his own action group here. So cool. Good luck to my opponent. Let's do it to it. So for his army size, he's got 720. Relatively small army. Well, I guess by Beastman standards. So he probably has best scores. You can't really bring too much fodder against the vampire counts because they're just going to terror out everything with a Mortis engine. So you need to have like a little bit more of a durable infantry corps, but maybe some Minotaurs. I've been seeing people experiment with Minotaur builds for sure. Oh, the Vanguard, he's taking the high ground. It's okay. We'll fight him. We'll fight him for it. So we're going to get up there and, they're just gore herds. So we should be able to honestly just take these guys down pretty good. But I like the idea that he's like securing the high ground like pretty quickly. That's pretty neat. We'll park the Mortis engine right here in the middle, and these guys are going to fly up and over and see what we can get. Manny's going to go ahead and summon some zombies on top of those guys, which is pretty much just going to shut them down. We'll get these skeletons and other dudes kind of running up the hill. And the Cryptors, I mean, they might as well dogpile in, right? So we just got to watch out for Vanguard because I know there's some tricky business that can be done on this map. So we get that summon. Yeah, so apparently he just really wanted the high ground. So we're going to kind of collapse in here with the VARGHEISTS because he's way out of position right now. So we'll kind of muck him up a little bit here and just kind of just hang tight. And yeah, this is going to be great. So we're just going to get like a ton of free kills here and pretty much take no casualties. But he still does get the high ground. So that's kind of cool. So we'll get our spears engaged right here with all these guys. And the Cryptors and company can go ahead and engage as well. So Mortis engine, we want it in like the main center of the battlefield, and we want to get these guys out right now. So let's get our skeleton spears going after Gorbel. These ones can go after the Minotaurs with great weapons, and we just have to make sure Manfred doesn't get like punished by anything. Great, so we're going to summon some more skeletons right here on top of those guys, and the Claw of Nagash. Man, did I just charge that into his forces, or was I just not paying attention? But anyways, we should be able to get through. We did get the skeleton summons right on top of these guys, which is pretty much going to shut those down. And let's drop an Invocation of Nehek. This is a very pivotal point in the battlefield. And cool. So now that the battle's kind of developed, we can send our VARGHEISTS and start feasting on whatever we want. So VARGHEISTS are going in. The Claw of Nagash is a little bit kind of in a bad position, so we're going to keep pushing it through here. We do have our Cryptors focusing down on the Gorbel, which is exactly what we want. And do we need to Fate Abuna anything? I honestly don't think we do. So good. So the Claw of Nagash is safe now, so we can just park it in the back. You can see we're going to just tear these guys to shreds. He does have Morker on the high ground, so we need to be aware of that. And he's going to come in probably with some of these spearmen right here. So we're going to try and slow them down with Manny. Let's go ahead and use these buff abilities. And you can see the Minotaurs and different things like that are really struggling. So we can go ahead and engage right now. I mean, yeah, the Minotaurs seem to be doing okay, that kind of main pocket here. But let's get these guys back up. We've done our piece, so let's go ahead here. And now we can just kind of charge into the back of the Butchers. And so whenever you're doing charging, I got to get used to that cooldown. I keep forgetting. Let's go ahead and give the Red Fury to these guys, and that's going to give them a little bit of extra damage. But if you're switching back and forth and cycle, not cycling different targets, you can use the zombies and Raise Dead to kind of screen him from coming back. So we're going to go ahead and drop this right here, right on top of these guys, and then we'll probably follow up with an Invocation of Nehek. We'll get these guys pushing up on the hill. Looks like we were able to win that side of the battlefield pretty convincingly. So great. So Manny's having a good old time in the high ground. We do have some Fate Abuna, but we probably just want to honestly Spirit Leech this Gorbel down. And we'll just run this. How did he get? Oh, he actually did a somersault. That's what it was. So these guys are taking quite a bit of damage, so we're going to go ahead and just keep pushing into these Ungor Spears. And Fate of Buna, obviously, I don't think it'll do too much to those guys. So let's drop that big, fat, juicy heal right there. Then we're going to come up around the flank and hopefully be able to, you know, put these guys down. So cool. So I'm tempted to push in Manny, but I think one of the only chances my opponent has of getting back in this game is like if he's able to, you know, get on Manfred. So let's get these VARGHEISTS up in the air, prepare another cycle charge, get the Mortis engine re-engaged. And Manny, we did land here. Very, very risky maneuver. It's a bold move, Cotton. I think it'll work out because we do have a good escape route. Great. So here we can go ahead and just kind of get one group going after these guys and just collapsing his respective flanks. And although he does have some freaking, yeah, we'll just keep him fighting right here. That should be fine. And do we have a heal? We do have a Spirit Leech, so we can go ahead and just kind of keep working on Daddy Gorbel, who's, you know, always trouble. So the high ground does indeed collapse, and that's what's nice about VARGHEISTS. Like, if you're relatively effective with them and you don't let them get trapped down, you can like pull them in and out of combat and really just jump around the battlefield and just like take out, you know, pockets of high value. So Gorbel here is in a little bit of trouble, so we might as well just land Manfred at this point. I think it's to the point where he's pretty safe, and it will get the Sword of Unholy power proc, so we're going to just smash on the last of these Beastmen troops. He does have Morker the Shadow Gave and some other guys over here, but I don't think he has enough stopping power left on the battlefield. And yeah, how many kills did these guys get? 28 and 54? That's not bad. And they had some good presence as well. And it looks like Gorbel in here is in a little bit of trouble, so Manny will go ahead and switch them onto this target and just let our horde of fodder units just kind of zerg on the back of these Chaos Spawn right here, which should work just fine. And Mortis engines actually do hit somewhat hard, guys. That's something a lot of people don't take into account. So we're just going to isolate the Gorbels and finish them off. How are our flying dudes, our flying bat pets over here doing? We'll go ahead and charge in there, finish those guys off. Cool. So we do have Morker the Shadow Gave still fighting over here, but you know, once we finish off the Gorbels, it's really going to start tilting the balance of power in our favor, I think. And let's get some of these spears to attach here to deal with some of these guys, and these guys can go here. And the Mortis engine, let's park right here. I think that's where like it's going to get the most, you know, the most of its value. And cool. So we were able to finish off that Gorbel, I think. So let's pull these guys, VARGHEISTS up in the air here, and go after some of these units that are coming back from route. It's also another good use of those guys. But we do have the Master of the Black Arts. Let's go ahead and pop this on the Sternsman to give him a little bit of extra damage. And yeah, let's see what he's got left. So those guys are routing off. Balance of power is really shifting right now, and I mean, these guys are just going to feast on him. You can see them getting in here on the high ground, and you know, I think that might be it. We do have a Spirit Leech. Morker is like, yeah, he's wavering due to army losses now, so that's always a sign that it's probably going to be over soon. So well played to my opponent. Build seemed to work out. I mean, I really liked the VARGHEISTS there. They were actually like, I would have been a little bit more stressed out to have Cav because, you know, he had great weapons and a lot of spears. So like Blood Knights would have been struggling to find a home. But the VARGHEISTS were able to like pull up, go after the missile units. And then as soon as the missile units were compromised and he reacted, I could just pull them back, summon zombies on the missile units and go get something else. So it definitely seemed pretty good. But well played to my opponent, Jake, for sure. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that double BattleCast. And let me know your thoughts on the questions I was asking before. If you'd like to see a head-to-head campaign on launch, live stream, or, you know, what kind of content you guys want. So thanks again for watching, guys. Have an excellent night and take care.